All right, it's time for lunch now, so let's get over to the kitchen and check in for the first time today with ABC 7 Culinary Director Judi Gallagher. Judi?
I love making homemade pound cake. It's something that's been around for generations and so many great recipes. I've combined an orange pound cake and a lemon pound cake. And what I did for today's recipe is I split it into two cake pans. Now, a lot of times we'll use a bundt pan or a tube pan. The thing I like about using the cake pans, the 2 9-inch, is that you really literally have two cakes. So we can serve it a lot of different ways. A pound cake is wonderful, just buttered and put on the grill for a brunch item with some berries on top. And with all these great Florida strawberries, it's going to come together with a little strawberry sauce I made and both a vanilla and a lemon orange glaze. So stay with me throughout the hour as I bring you the freshness of spring flavors and more with a citrus pound cake.
Let's get back to the kitchen and check in again with Judi Gallagher. Judi?
Okay, it's going to get a little noisy here, but I just want to show you the process. I have in here vegetable oil, half a pound of full butter with salt, and I have some, there we go, and some sugar, 2 cups of sugar. Now, when a recipe asks for eggs, especially if there's several, pound cakes take about 6. You want to go one at a time. Really let that get incorporated. Halfway through, by all means, you can stop the mixer. Make sure, again, it's all incorporated. And always use large eggs. Extra large are too big, and medium are a little bit small. The key to a good pound cake is to get it fluffy so it's not too dense. Let's shut that off for a minute. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to add the flour that has salt, baking soda, and baking powder. And of course, you'll get the exact amounts with the recipe up on mysuncoast.com/dining. So we're going to put some of that in, and then we're going to rotate using the buttermilk. Whenever you use buttermilk, shake it first. And if you don't have buttermilk, but you get in the urge to bake a cake, you can take regular milk, add 2 tablespoons of white vinegar, stir it only once, and let it sit in a warm place on your counter for about an hour, and you will have buttermilk. So here we go with the thickness of buttermilk. And then we're going to rotate again with the flour, which I can do off air. Then we're going to add some vanilla extract, some lemon extract, and you always want to get the pure kind, never use imitation, and some orange blossom extract, which I think just adds that floral note to it. So we'll whip the rest of that up when we're off camera. It's going to go into a well-greased 9-inch cake pan, 2 of them actually, or the bundt pan, as I mentioned. Now, if you're watching, you can see that on other segments, I've made a strawberry sauce before because it's so easy. This is 2 pints of strawberries chopped, 3/4 of a cup of water, and 3 tablespoons of sugar. You can use stevia if you want, as well as in the cake. And this makes this perfect sauce. It can freeze, but we'll use it as a drizzle in just a few minutes. So when we come back, it's time for the cakes to come out of the oven and cool, and we'll get it ready for a delicious dessert.
All right, time to get back to the kitchen and check in on that delicious citrus pound cake with Judi Gallagher.
Now we're going to make some glazes. And what is great is I found a recipe that used more than one glaze, and I thought about it and I said it makes perfect sense. So your typical glaze for a bundt cake or something like that is using confectionery sugar. You're going to use whole milk, about a tablespoon, and then you can use some fresh squeezed orange juice and lemon juice. If you want to separate this, so that can be one, and then you can do another one with just the confectionery sugar and some vanilla extract and a little bit of milk. So we're getting the 2, and that's what you're going to see right here in this plastic container that's already done. So let's take, and I made this last night, so I didn't, you know, it makes it, whatever you can prep ahead of time always makes life a little easier, right? So that part's done, that beautiful vanilla glaze. And now we can just stir this in, and this will make the second glaze, the citrus glaze, which I like to say. So it's going to take about 1.5 cups of confectionery sugar, the 10X, because the more refined it is, the easier it is to smooth out, especially when you're doing something like a glaze. It's not going to be as thick as a buttercream, so you want to make sure that you don't get the lumps, and this refined powdered sugar really helps the way. Now, to give it a real good boost, some fresh lemon juice, catch those seeds along the way if we need to. There, we did well. Okay, so that will go on the top. Now, I happen to have some already made. Of course I do. So let's take the base of this cake. Okay, let me move it over here a little bit more. And let's take, I'll say just a little drizzle of the strawberry coulis that I made. Again, just strawberries, a few tablespoons of sweetener, and anywhere from 3/4 to a cup of water, give or take. Okay, so let's let that just drizzle down naturally. Give it a little push there by the sides, right? So now I have some strawberries here because we'll be using that for the garnish. And then I'll bring over the second piece right here. Parchment paper is your friend when you're baking. It's easier so it doesn't get stuck on the sides. Now we're going to take the citrus glaze and look at this. We're just going to drizzle it all over. And you know, pound cake is forgiving. So if the sides get bumped or anything like that, don't worry about it. Just enjoy it. And again, we'll put some more strawberry sauce on top. This is a recipe you're going to keep in your box forever because you can switch it out with blueberries or raspberries. But for me, I think it's just going to be the perfect season to have it. Come back in just a few minutes. I'll let you know where you can find the recipe and we'll take a bite. So here we have it. We have a layered version of a citrus pound cake with the 2 different glazes, the vanilla glaze and that orange lemon glaze, and then a little strawberry sauce on top. So easy to make, and the fresh strawberries. I think you're going to really enjoy this. If you're going to be bringing it to an event, put it in a cake holder. It will hold up well in the refrigerator till you're ready to serve. It also freezes beautifully without the glaze. You can get this recipe by going on mysuncoast.com. Just click on dining and you'll find this recipe. And don't forget, every Wednesday you could be entered to win a gift card to one of our various restaurant partners and dine out and enjoy it on us. So sign up for our culinary page and our newsletter. And in the meantime, you can have your cake and eat it too. Guys, I'll save you a piece.